Hello there, you're watching Vnews Bulletin. I'm Nguyen presenting you today top stories as usual.
Vietnam and China seek to foster bilateral partnership in all fields. Kaspersky praises Vietnam's online banking security. And later on, photo exhibition spotlights Vietnamese peacekeepers in South Sudan.
Party General Secretary Nguyen Trong attended a meeting of the Central Military Commission in Hanoi on July 13th.
Party General Secretary Nguyen Trong urged the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense to improve their research and forecasting capacity and further provide timely consultation for the party and state while chairing the meeting. Trong, who is also Secretary of the Commission, said the Commission and the Ministry should closely coordinate with other ministries and agencies to effectively implement strategies and projects on national defense and security. The leader highlighted combat readiness and the need to closely manage the country's airspace, sea, border, inland, and other strategic areas. A report presented at the conference showed in the first half of this year, the Commission, the Defense Ministry, and other ministries and agencies fulfilled their assigned tasks and worked hard to protect the national sovereignty and territory, as well as to ensure safety for the country's political events. They played a core role in pandemic prevention and control, search and rescue operations, and supporting people in economic development.
National Assembly Chairman Nguyen met Vice Chairman of the Laos National Assembly Somat Phosena in Hanoi on July 13th.
National Assembly Chairman Nguyen said the visit by the Lao delegation is made at a time when the two countries are celebrating the 60th anniversary of the establishing of diplomatic relations and the 45th anniversary of the signing of the Treaty of Friendship and Cooperation. He said the visit realizes the cooperation agreement between two national assemblies signed recently in Laos. Chairman Nguyen affirmed that Vietnam and the Vietnamese National Assembly always consider strengthening the special solidarity with Laos its top priority. The National Assembly of Vietnam is willing to exchange high-level delegations to share experiences with the Lao counterpart. The Vice Chairman of the Lao National Assembly congratulated Vietnam on its success, especially in disease control, socio-economic recovery and development. We thank Chairman Nguyen for sharing Vietnam's experiences in stabilizing the macroeconomy, curbing inflation, and solving economic difficulties.
Deputy Prime Minister Pham Binh Minh co-chaired the 14th meeting of the Steering Committee for Vietnam-China Cooperation on July 13th in Nanning City, Guangxi Yuan Autonomous Region. Politburo member and Deputy Prime Minister Pham Binh Minh and Chinese State Councillor and Foreign Minister Wang Yi agreed that since the previous meeting of the committee last September, the two sides had worked closely together to maintain the stability of the overall bilateral relationship and cooperation with positive results. They agreed that problems mentioned at the 30 meeting had been settled, while pointing out a number of shortcomings in bilateral trade, including a growing imbalance in bilateral trade and the concession of goods at border gates. Regarding the cooperation orientations in the future, both sides agreed to increase exchanges and meetings at high and old levels, implementing cooperation agreements between two parties, promoting the committee's role in removing arising problems, among others. Concluding the meeting, Minh and Wang announced the signing of a number of cooperation agreements, including a protocol on phytosanitary requirements for durians exported from Vietnam. Earlier on July 12, Deputy Prime Minister Pham Binh Minh had a meeting with Liu Ning, Secretary of the Party Committee of the Guangxi Yuan Autonomous Region, during which both sides agreed to increase exchanges and meetings at all levels, further promote existing cooperation mechanisms, enhance economic trade and investment collaboration efficiency, and strengthen transport infrastructure connections.
Ambassador Đặng Hoàng Giang, permanent representative of Vietnam to the UN, met UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and handed over a letter from Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính to him, responding to his proposal on establishing Vietnam-UN cooperation in climate change response and sharing Vietnam's efforts to realize commitments at the 26th UN Climate Change Conference.
In the letter, Prime Minister Chính thanks the UN as well as the Secretary General himself for support to Vietnam, including the establishment of the partnership with the Global 7 on energy transition. Guterres spoke highly of Vietnam's efforts and expressed his understanding of the challenges Vietnam and other developing countries are facing in the response to climate change. Ambassador Giang thanked the UN for its support to Vietnam in the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals and climate change response, including its commitment to net zero emissions by 2050. He reiterated President Phup's invitations to the UN Secretary General to visit Vietnam this year on the occasions of the 45 years of Vietnam-UN relations. The Secretary General said he will arrange the visits as soon as possible.
In an article posted on July 12th, the Business Times of Singapore cited some economists' opinions that said Vietnam's economy is back on track for a strong recovery this year.
John Parley, portfolio manager at Markets Asia, said Vietnam is a frontier market star. While frontier markets are generally smaller, less liquid, and have limited foreign investor assets, it has bucked the trend. For the first 6 months of 2022, foreign direct investment into Vietnam grew by nearly 9% to over $10 billion. Economist Ru Han Thang from DBS, the largest bank in Singapore, forecasts Vietnam's GDP expansion will reach 7% this year to meet the set target. He hopes that the service sector, especially retail, will continue growing fast when COVID-19 is classified as an endemic disease. However, economist Jun Chiu said, despite an optimistic growth trend, the energy crisis had begun affecting Vietnam's growth, recommending the country pay attention to rising growth risks, especially those posed by surging energy prices.
Russian cybersecurity firm Kaspersky Lab recently described Vietnam as the safest country in Southeast Asia against the threat of financial attacks targeting banks, payment systems, and online stores.
Statistics from Kaspersky Lab showed that the rate of scams related to banks, payment systems, and online stores in Vietnam was lower than other countries in the region. The fraud rate was 26.36% in Vietnam, while it was over 40% in Indonesia, nearly 47% in Malaysia, 64% in the Philippines, more than 51% in Singapore, and over 56% in Thailand. It can be seen that the online transactions and shopping of users are increasingly improved, and this can be attributed to the ongoing efforts of the government of Vietnam to raise awareness on financial and data security in the context of mobile banking and e-wallets flourishing in the region, the Russian company added. According to the FinTech and Digital Banking 2025 Asia-Pacific report by Backbase, mobile transactions are forecast to increase by 300% in Vietnam by 2025, thanks to the booming digital economy.
An exhibition is underway in Hoi An ancient town in the central province of Quảng Nam, aiming to introduce and promote the values of unique aspects of Vietnamese cultural and natural heritage which have been recognized by UNESCO.
The exhibition Vietnam Cultural Heritage Space runs as part of activities to celebrate the Quảng Nam National Tourism Year 2022 with the theme of Quảng Nam, a green tourism destination. It offers an ideal venue for Quảng Nam to promote the potential of green tourism and raise public awareness about protecting the environment, natural heritage, as well as elevating the image of the country and its people. On display at the event are handicraft products of local artisans with the goal of introducing traditional Vietnamese craft villages and strengthening connectivity among various craft villagers, producers and tourists. A photo exhibition themed Journey Through Vietnam's Heritage Regions is also held within the framework of the program.
With this year's peak tourist season underway, Da Nang City has launched a series of high-end art and entertainment activities that will last throughout the summer.
On the evening of July 9, tens of thousands of local people and tourists headed to Asia Park to enjoy the Take Me to the Sun Music Festival, the largest and most anticipated art show within the Enjoy Summer Da Nang Festival 2022.
Festivals and cultural events always attract tourists. They help elevate tourism to a new level, which is not only a type of entertainment, but also an enjoyment of culture.
Though the festival is an open-door program, organizers still make significant investments from the stage and music to the artistic elements, contemporary folk, pop, and rock, to exciting new music like hip-hop and EDM.
Da Nang is famous not only for its attractive tours, and it's also home to many exciting activities such as street carnivals and festivals. Organizers have offered interesting and different experiences, and I will come to Da Nang again.
After such a long time of not much happening, I can feel the emotional atmosphere. It was a great experience and I feel so happy.
To serve local people and tourists, a series of other arts and entertainment events are in the pipeline that will help revive the city's tourism industry.
More than 100 photos capturing Vietnamese peacekeepers in South Sudan are on display at an exhibition that opened recently in Hanoi.
Selected from thousands of photos taken by Nguyen, the exhibits feature the image of the Vietnamese Blue Beret soldiers while performing their international tasks. At the opening ceremony, the 54-year-old artist introduced a photo book telling about his one-month journey with the peacekeepers in the African nation through 300 photos.
This is the first time I have traveled with Vietnamese peacekeepers who perform their duty in one of the most difficult places in the world. It is my unforgettable experience.
The photos taken by Nguyen capture beautiful moments, marking really meaningful periods of time in the military course of each Vietnamese peacekeeper.
There are many difficulties, but we have tried to overcome to fulfill our task. I work here with the national pride, trying to do the best possible for the African country.
Witnessing daily work of the peacekeepers, Nguyen, who has so far organized 17 exhibitions on Vietnam's land, people, and tangible and intangible cultural heritages, can stop feeling proud.
The peacekeepers are really a source of pride and encouragement for me. I promised with myself to make a good collection on the soldiers and express their enthusiasm to the public.
Last month, Vietnam sent its Engineering Unit Rotation 1 to the UN Interim Security Force for RBA. Established in 2014 and debuted in November 2021, the 184-member unit has been the biggest of Vietnam to join UN peacekeeping mission to date. The first 28 members arrived in RBA on May 5th and the remaining 156 on June 15th.